Okay, so today we're going to talk about pressure. Pressure, measured in pascals or newtons per meter squared, is equal to the force that acts on a certain area. An example of pressure is if you take a pencil that has a slightly sharp point at one end and a blunter end at the other, and if you put them in between your hands there and push them together gently, the force is the same, but you will feel that it's more painful in the hand with the pointy part because the area is smaller. So because the area is smaller, when you're dividing the force by the area, you're dividing by a smaller number, so you get a much greater pressure, and you can see the effect on your hand as a result of that, because the pressure is greater. The same principle applies in the kitchen. If you want to cut things easily, you have a sharp knife because you have a smaller area than if you used the other side of the knife, the wrong side, that was much thicker and less and wider and had a greater area. So what we're going to do just now is we're going to work out the pressure underneath some object that we might find in our cupboards, and I'm going to ask you to do something similar. So I've got a box of crackers here, and to work out the pressure I need to know the force and I need to know the area. Now it will make a difference if my box of crackers is that way round or that way round or standing on its end, and that's because the area of each of those sides is different. So we'll do it this way round just now, because that way we can see the reading on the scales quite easily. So I'm going to zero my set of scales here. Now these measure the mass in grams, and we can see that with the box there we have a mass of 325 grams. So we're going to put that to one side just now and put that here. Now from earlier in our topic we learnt that the weight, the force acting downwards due to gravity, is equal to the mass times the gravitational field strength, G, where the mass is measured in kilograms. So we had 325 grams here, and there are 1,000 grams in a kilogram, so to change our mass into kilograms we need to divide by 1,000 to get 0.325 kilograms. Then if we want to work out the force downwards in newtons of this box full of crackers, I can multiply my mass, 0.325, by the gravitational field strength here on Earth, which is 9.8 newtons per kilogram. So we can do that on our calculators. So we can put 0.325 times 9.8, and we get our answer there, 3.185 newtons, and we can round that up to 3.2 newtons. Will do. Okay, so we have our weight, and our weight is the force that we've got. So the force for our pressure calculation is 3.2 newtons, and that will be the same whichever way that we happen to have our box around. So the next thing we need is the area. Now if we look at our box here, we can see that it's rectangular in shape, and so to work out the area is going to be the length times the breadth. So what we need for that is we need to work out the area, is we need a ruler, or if you don't have a ruler at home you might find a measuring tape for sewing, or what I've got here is my measuring tape for DIY type jobs. So I have the bottom number in red are the centimeters, so I've got 20 centimeters as that dimension for my length. So I've got 20 centimeters, and the dimension this way, if I have a look at it move it near the camera, we can see that it's at 7 centimeters. Now we want our area in meters squared rather than centimeters squared. So the easiest way to do this is to change our length and our breadth from centimeters into meters. So to do that, we have to think, well, how many centimeters are in a meter? And 1 meter, you should be thinking, is 100 centimeters. So to get from centimeters to meters, I need to divide by 100. So I have 20 divided by 100 for my length, and I have 7 divided by 100 for my breadth. 20 divided by 100 gives me 0.2 meters. Is the same as 20 centimeters, and 7 centimeters is the same as 0.07 meters. So if I multiply those two together, I can get my area in meters squared, which I can use my calculator to do. So here it is there, 0.2 times 0.07. Obviously you can do it in your head if you wish. And I get 0.014 meters squared. So if we now go back to what we're doing, so right at the start we had that the pressure in pascals, or newtons per meter squared, is the force divided by the area. We measured our mass with the scales, then we calculated the weight, the force, 3.2 newtons. We've then calculated the area of the side that the object is standing upon, and we've changed that into meters. So the last step we need to do is we need to work out the pressure, which is the force divided by the area, which is our force of 3.2 newtons divided by 0.014 meters squared, and 3.2 divided by 0.014 gives us our answer. And you can see that we get a big long answer, 228.5714286, and we want to round. So we've got 2 numbers for our area and 2 for that. So we're actually going to round not just to, if we were looking at whole numbers, that would be 229. But because we're looking at 2 significant figures, we're going to have an answer that is 230. And the unit is either Pascal, or PA for short, or we could write newtons per meter squared, both being the same thing. So the pressure underneath my box of Ryvita crackers is, when it's that way round, is 230 pascals.